Welcome to another episode of Put in Work Show. My name is Mark Rankine.
And I'm Luis Guaman.
And today we're joined by Leddy Beethoven. He's a producer and audio engineer at NH Records. First of all, thank you for joining us, Eddie.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely a pleasure. So, first of all, let's just start by saying you are one of, I would say, like one of the most well-known producers in the New York City area, working with artists, producing music, like putting out like rich content to the world. And I definitely have to say, I really, really respect the hustle, man.
Thank you.
I met you probably like a year and a half, like 2 years ago, something like that. And immediately I was just like mesmerized by this gentleman right here. I do remember I sitting in your studio and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I need to fucking get my life together. Like this guy is going places. So first of all, let's start with your background. You're from the Bronx, originally.
I'm originally from Dominican Republic.
DR!
Oh!
Yeah.
Wait, so immigrant?
So, I was born here.
Okay.
But I went very young to the Dominican Republic.
Okay, and when did you come back?
I came back for college. So much.
So basically like me.
Yeah, so basically, you know.
What part of DR?
Santiago.
Okay,
Yeah.
really beautiful place.
One of our producers, he's like going crazy with this. Yeah,
DR!
So yeah, that was awesome, man. And what was that like switching cultures altogether, like coming back to the big city?
Yeah, I mean, when I was over there, I was fortunate that I had most of my friends were American, and I had American culture. I went to a bilingual school.
Oh, nice.
So I pretty much didn't lose much of that, American culture.
Yeah.
But, coming back, it was kind of cool to a certain extent because, technology is a little more advanced on this part of the world.
Sure.
But other than that, I mean, it's cool. And, where I live uptown now in the city. So it's very, it's very Hispanic, very Latino,
Yes.
very diverse. So I kind of felt right at home when I came back.
The best food ever.
The greatest food,
Yeah,
of course.
of course.
That's amazing. And you also, for your undergrad, you went to NYU, and also for your master's degree, is that correct?
Well, from undergrad, I went to Fordham University.
What the fuck? All right, we definitely have to take that out. So let me just re-ask that. Like, I don't have my facts straight.
It's good.
No, that's not good.
To an extent, you're right.
So you went to Fordham for your undergrad and then NYU for your master's degree.
Master's, correct.
How was that? Like, what was that experience like?
Fordham or NYU or both?
Both.
Fordham, I mean, it was great. So I went to Fordham University. I was a music major and a business administration minor.
Is that how you started out?
That's not how I started out. So I started out business.
Yes.
It was cool and all that, but I felt like I wasn't really happy at what I was doing. Music was my passion from way before. And I kind of was playing the safe route.
Right.
Our parents, our families, our friends, like, study this, study something, you can get a job when you graduate. And I started, and it was like, I don't know, like, I'm bad with numbers. The only numbers I want to see are the ones that, are in my bank account
like
and stuff like that.
Sure.
Other than that, no.
Yeah.
So I was at Fordham, and halfway through, 2 years in, I'm like, listen, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So there were just classes I was having trouble in because I just was bad with the numbers. So I spoke to my family. I told them, look, I want to switch to music. They weren't with it.
Right, of course not.
So I just went secretly and did it on my own.
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I switched it up. My parents were still thinking I was a business major.
So wait, when did they find out, like graduation? So
No, they found out probably like end of junior year or something.
Oh.
Okay.
I was like, hey, by the way, I'm a music major now.
Wow.
Can you imagine like graduation day? It's like bachelor's in music.
Yeah.
It's like
No.
what? My son?
So it's more like, hey guys, by the way, I did that thing I told you I wasn't gonna do, and I just did it. Bam! Oh, what?
Kind
I was
of.
like right here. I don't know.
So I had enough credits to be a double major.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
But the way the format works at that school, I couldn't have a double major, so I ended up minoring in business.
Yeah. Okay.
Which ultimately down the road, it kind of helped.
It kind of helped.
Yeah.
Right. But you had to be like very academically inclined to like even get into Fordham, wouldn't you say? Like.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know. I got in. I just applied. I only applied to 3 schools, which were Fordham, NYU, and Columbia. I got into all of them except NYU for my undergrad.
It's just something he does. He just gets into
Don't you
schools.
just love when they go, oh, that didn't really mean anything, I just applied.
No, I mean, the thing is, my mom always instilled to me, if you're gonna do something, you're gonna be the best.
Yeah.
You aim for the high. Don't settle for, smaller community colleges. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, of course.
But nothing wrong with that. But my mom always she taught me to aim high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Honestly, if you're getting into schools like that, and it was pretty simple. If you're not really even sure exactly what it was or why, it's just because of the habits that you were instilled with.
I always had good grades too in high school and all that
Yeah.
stuff. That helped me a lot. I had a good GPA and I was always inclined to do
So
my
your
stuff.
interest in music. So when did it start exactly? You were telling me before we started that it started young.
Yeah, I started.
Pretty young.
Well, my mother put me in piano class when I was like 6 or 7.
Okay.
I hated it. I wanted to stay home playing video games.
Yeah.
I wanted to, play baseball in the Dominican Republic. When
Classic.
you're growing up, they put a bat in your hand.
Yeah.
So then I got to the age. I'm like, okay, this might be a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started hanging around with people that were musically inclined. So I kind of got into it.
When you were a kid.
When I was a kid, yeah.
Okay.
So growing older in high school, all my friends either rapped or wanted to record, and I had a computer. So I'm like, hey, let's try this. I had a little mic, let's do this. And I started learning how to make beats, and I started loving it. I started writing songs, and I discovered a passion for it.
Nice.
And from there, I'm like, you know what? I really like this.
That's nuts.
So then when I decided to come back to the U.S. for school, that was one thing I had in mind long term. Like, I want to go back to the U.S. because there's more opportunities.
Right.
For music. To study music.
To study music, engineering, etc.
Okay. So for right now, just for our audience, can you give them maybe a taste of exactly, I don't know, some accomplishments that you have of a producer, and maybe some of these guys don't even know what a producer does, and go ahead.
So I'm a music producer and an audio engineer. So basically what a music producer does is they create the music, They kind of get the musical arrangements, they make the beats, like a lot of people call them, pop music and stuff like that. And then the audio engineer is the one who's in charge of running the recording sessions and most of the times mixing, which is like the editing. So let's say in the video world, this kind of, the video editing is equivalent to what the mixing is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fortunate that I'm able to do both things. Some people are just only, able to do one, I'm able to do both, which is a good reason why my business is doing so well.
Of course.
And what do you think right now is really one of your kind of proudest accomplishments that come to mind from your music experience within the industry?
I always say just being able to live off
Yes.
my passion.
Yes.
Like a lot of people always like, oh, I don't have a Grammy yet. I don't have this yet. I don't have that yet. But just the fact that I'm able to wake up every day
and do that
and do what I love, and it's just
feed yourself.
Yeah, feed myself, and not able to do just save money. I have plans on opening other businesses, investing in the long run. So just the fact that I'm able to just live off of music, which a lot of people wish they can do.
Of course.
To me, is a great accomplishment.
That is pretty amazing. Anyone in any artistry, a creative,
and any creative element, exactly.
doing that full time. So. Okay, no part-time job, you're just only doing that. Now that is a huge step compared to what you were just explaining from high school and in college learning about it. So, and you're, if I'm not mistaken, 27, correct?
Yes.
27 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So in that gap, after, in that gap, right, what was it exactly for you? Because obviously you can get to the same place, there's different paths to get to the same place, right, for success. For you specifically, what did you do? What steps did you take to go from cool, I think I need a job or a million jobs, and by the way, I'm going to do music, to go to having no other jobs and to doing only music?
Yeah, when I was at NYU finishing my master's there, I was getting job offers, and I actually declined them all because I wanted to make sure I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to work for myself.
Okay.
And by that point, I had started kind of developing a clientele. I started my recording studio in my apartment, small computer, mic. Slowly the word started spreading. I started making beats for people. People were liking my work. So they were coming over to my apartment. I got to the point where my apartment was just full of clients in and out, and my mom cooking in the kitchen.
Oh, that's how they stayed. That's why they stayed, though. That's great.
So I had a whole bunch of music gear, from one side. My room looked like some crazy studio.
Yeah.
And then my bed in the back. So I was fortunate. People were liking my work, and the word started spreading. I started promoting on the internet. I used the internet as a big tool to kind of start getting my name out there until I got to the point where I was able to expand. You know what? I'm gonna, get this stuff out of my room, and I'm gonna try to run a space. and I went looking for spaces. I wanted it to be in Manhattan. I wanted it to be in the city. I knew it was gonna be a challenge.
Sure.
But aim high.
Yeah.
That's what I was always told. And I was fortunate. I found a space. The first space I had was the one that you went to.
Right.
Oh wow.
Then I was able to keep growing, expand, and now I'm located on 27th Street here in the city.
So let's poke at that just a little bit more in detail for the audience. That you had people coming over and you started to get the ball rolling. So then for that exactly, what did you exactly do from when you were new, right, to start spreading the word? You didn't automatically start, I don't know, buying Facebook ads or buying space for people to look at, right? So what did you do to get the word out there and that you deserve to be paid?
Yeah, I gave them good quality, but not only that, I gave them what they wanted and more.
Okay.
Because quality, you can get, but giving them what they want at a higher level, that just I made sure that people left pleased. That people, when they came to me, they have a vision, and I was able to see that vision and take it even further. Right. And that was my get from the beginning. It was just, I want to make sure this person leaves happy. This person is the most comfortable they can be right now. This person feels at home. It is a home, but give it that, that feeling.
Yeah.
It's a home and it's their home.
Yeah. And just, I've been blessed with talent that, people say I have.
Oh.
It's like a punch in the face. It's like,
no,
I'm talented.
I've been blessed with talent. That's really nuts. No, but that speaks truth because you're confident in your work.
Yeah.
Right. And like for most people, and like, Mark is confident, I'm confident in like our fields, right? And we want to share that with people. That's most creatives, right?
Yeah.
You want to share your work with people, and I'm guessing that's why you said provide them with more, right? Than what they wanted.
Because to be honest, to me, I'm just doing my job.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you're paying me, you want a certain product, I'm going to get you the product. The best I can. But to me, it's a job. When people are thanking me, when people are calling me the GOAT or stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, I'm just, I'm just trying to give you what you wanted.
Right.
So with that put together though, how did you attract the clients in the first place? How did you bring them to you?
Word of mouth. And what it was is people were like, hey, that song sounds really good. Who did that for you? And some kid, on the block. And they were like, on this block? Like, yeah. I'm not gonna say what.
Yeah.
So
straight up this
then
block.
they came and they were like, wow, this sounds really good. Like, and my stuff wasn't sounding like a home studio. It was sounding, competitive.
Okay.
So like my quality was really good and people kept coming back for it. But it was mostly word of mouth. Like it was really good. It was really good stuff that I was making for people.
So if I were to put it another way, you started making content, okay? Even if you were not being paid for it, you started making content for, let's say, your friends or people who like you would network with that seemed like they could use content. Started giving it out to them, and then the word spread with that from people using your content,
from people using my content. And to be honest, I was getting paid. People were paying me since I was 16, 17 years old.
Okay.
Like I was charging $20 for a beat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to get signed so I could get a Metro card and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right.
So, and people were paying it to me because the beat sounded good. Initially, obviously, I gave a whole bunch of beats out for free. Hey, get on my beat, whatever.
Sure.
You gotta do that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was also giving people a free hour. Like new clients, I'll give you a free hour. Or if you refer a client to me, I'll give you, a free beat.
Sure.
So people were,
There you go.
motivated to kind of, okay, let me refer this other singer to him, even though he can't sing, but I'm getting a free, I'm getting a free beat off of this.
But this guy can mix you to sing. No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe, possibly.
Pretty much everybody sounds better than what they come in, so
Possibly.
that's the goal. That's
There you
the goal.
go.
You never want to go to a barbershop and come out worse than what you look.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
There you go.
we're gonna pivot a little bit to the artist side. So let's say I'm a recording artist. I have a great voice, or so I think, or so my tribe has been telling me. How do I find the right person? Like, how do I know that the producer that I'm approaching is the right person for the job or the person I should collaborate with?
I feel that person has to have the same hunger as the artist. If you have a dream, you have a passion, you have a goal.
Yeah.
If my goal is just to use you as a paycheck, then you're in the wrong place.
But how would I, as the artist, figure that out?
You walk in and you'll know. It's like a lot of people say, when you find the right person, the right partner to be in a relationship, you just know.
Right.
You get the vibe. It's like, when parents, when your mom knows, like, hey, that friend is not good for you, whatever.
Right.
Like, you just know. But apart from that, is if that producer doesn't make you better, if you don't feel like I'm growing as an artist, then you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Like, I try to make sure everybody who comes to my studio they learn something new. They just don't come for me to leave with something in their hands, but they leave with an experience, they leave with knowledge, they leave with something that they can build off, that if they end up going somewhere else, they're like, okay, I learned this at Eddie's studio. And Eddie was the one that taught me this.
Yeah, right.
Because at the end of the day, artists also, like, sometimes artists aren't well trained, they don't understand how the industry works.
Right.
Like, sometimes it's good for them to know a little bit of what I'm doing. So when they're elsewhere or when I'm not around, they know what they need.
You see, and I want to talk about that a little bit, because a lot of our viewers are creatives. And what you find is that with a lot of creatives, they don't know, and maybe I'm just talking about myself, maybe. We don't understand anything outside of what we do. So for example, I take pictures for my Instagram, and I always get a photographer. Whether it's interns working for my company, or it's a paid gig, or it's a collaboration with a brand or a hotel or whatever, I'm never behind the camera. So when it came time for us to put together this show, I wanted to have a camera to put in. I didn't even know what, they were like, oh, get a 70D, Canon 70D. I was like, is that like a candy? Like, what is that? They're like, no, bro, it's like the camera. It's like the type of camera. Like, that's the one you want. I was like, really? What does it do? And like, I knew nothing. So a lot of creatives, they come in that way, but you're saying they should know a little bit of like the back end. Why do you feel like that's important, and how should they go about getting that training?
They should know. They should know, because at the end of the day, it's something that's going to benefit them. In the sense of, okay, I'm in the recording studio, I'm seeing Eddie do this, I'm seeing Eddie do that. But whatever Eddie did, that sounded good on my voice. I never sounded like that before.
Right.
So I need to learn what that is.
So I
to
can
not
reproduce it.
Not learn how to use it, but you're somewhere else or whatever. Or not like, Eddie, remember that effect you put me on last time? I'm like, which effect? But if I tell you that it's a high pass filter, for example, to say something, you'll know, okay, Eddie, that high pass filter, like, I want that on all my songs. And it's gonna benefit the artist at the end of the day.
Right.
Because the artist is gonna, if that's something that he or she feels that's gonna improve their art, their craft, it's just gonna help them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's something that they should always, like, I mean, they don't have to learn how to mix in Pro Tools.
Right.
But they need to know, okay, Pro Tools is the industry standard. Like, there's certain stuff that works for my voice.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Nice. And how would they learn that? Is it like YouTube, or like, are they sitting and watching you as you work?
I would say that most of my clients, they sit down and watch me. Because
And you don't mind?
No, I don't mind, because at the end of the day, like, they're watching me because they're interested, because I make it interesting for them.
Right.
Usually when, like, mixing for the artist is the most important part. They're in the back on the couch, Instagram, all this stuff.
Right.
My clients are there, like, on my shoulder, like,
Okay.
Sometimes I had a client the other day that was like, man, like the computer needs to catch up to you, because I'm just like clicking away and all this stuff.
Right.
But most of my clients, they're watching me, and they kind of either they don't know the term, but they're, hey, can you put that little bubble thing that comes up, and I already know what it is,
Right.
And if not YouTube, like, if I tell you, okay, that's a filter, you can go to YouTube and kind of, there's a lot of stuff I learned on YouTube that impresses my clients more than stuff that I learned, in 6 years of college.
Really?
Yeah, like, there's a lot of stuff, like, it's so basic, like a 30-second YouTube, like there's stuff I learned in like 40-second YouTube videos that I didn't learn at school. And it's every time, for example, every time I do this one thing, the client's like, yo, this guy's fire, man. This is why I come to this guy. And I'm just there like, I learned that on YouTube, man. Like, I have 2 degrees posted up, but I learned that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
Those are pretty impressive.
That's something I really respect, though. In terms of you have your clients like looking over your shoulder, right? So you would love them to do that. Now, do you tell the clients who don't do that, who want to be on their phone, or hey, you know what? Why don't you check out what I'm doing? Do you tell them to do that?
Not really, because if they're not focused or interested, what I'm doing maybe isn't drawing their attention. So that means I need to do something to get their attention. So when I'm producing beats, when I'm on the keyboard, if the client's on Instagram or they're just sleeping around, I'm like, okay, something could be better here. So I switch it up.
Oh wow!
Once I see the client like yo, that's it right there.
Yeah.
Or if I see them like, you know, just watching me, like that means they're enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the right thing.
They're
I'm on the right path.
engaged.
They're
Yeah.
engaged. That's the word. If they're engaged, that means I'm on the right track.
Interesting.
If I'm there
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything, I just scratch the project. I'm like, I'm gonna start over. Sometimes I've done that before.
Really?
And they're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, no. I feel like I should go. I'm not saying it's their fault.
Yeah.
But what I put on me, like, okay, I feel like there's another direction we could go towards this. So
Interesting.
then once I get a new sound, they're like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
Boom. You know?
Sick.
Yeah.
So, and then keeping along the path of the artist, what you see, like all these people come into you. How do you identify the killer instinct? Like, what is it that you're looking for in a person where you're like, yo, this person's gonna blow up? What is that thing? Is that just like, is it something you can put your hand on? Are there little things, or is it just a feeling?
Nowadays, man, you never know.
You never know, right?
You will never know.
Holy shit.
That's exciting.
The weirdest dude that can walk in with the weirdest idea might be the one versus, you know, this vocally trained, classically trained singer that can come in and has the most beautiful voice in the world.
Right.
You never know. That's why I treat everybody like they're the one.
That's
And
very
that's
important.
why a lot of people
That's
come
very
to me.
important. That's very
You
true.
treat everybody. That should be like a soundbite. I treat everybody like they're the one, because you just don't know, right?
Yeah.
You just don't know. And if whoever is in my studio, if they, you know, blow up or whatever, that's just beneficial for me.
Of course.
So I'm not gonna, you know, do a half job on anybody just because I don't think they're good, because I don't think they're gonna make it based on their talent or their personality or whatever, or their ideas.
Yeah.
I treat everybody the same, and
That's great.
that's what people, I guess, love.
That's great. And so, what are some of the common mistakes that some of these artists make? Because everybody wants to be an artist nowadays. Everybody wants to be in front of the camera and like performing and stuff. But a lot of people are doing things wrong.
Yep.
What are some of the common things that you're seeing that they get wrong?
The first thing is a lot of people really don't believe in themselves and don't really believe in how good they are and in the potential that the world we live in now. Now you don't have to have an amazing voice. You know, we have auto-tune, we have pitch correction.
Right.
You know, we have social media.
Right.
We have the internet, which is the most powerful thing that an artist in any creative aspect could have right now.
Right.
So they don't believe that, okay, oh yeah, like my music, I have no funds, you know, I have no resources, no connection, I don't have a manager. But you have the internet.
Yeah.
You know, you have Instagram, you have social media where you can, you know, put a couple bucks and kind of choose your audience, your geographics and whatever, and kind of start putting yourself out there. That's the first thing. So if you don't believe you can put yourself out there, then who's gonna do it for you?
Yeah. So number one, you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, believe in yourself for sure. Two, from the point that I was getting to at now, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Like that's the best way. See, I'm not the kind of person that, you know, I don't like to be in the cameras too much. But
thank you for doing
I'm
this.
here now. Yeah,
You are.
I'm here now because I've been able to, you know, to succeed in what I'm doing. So, and it was just putting myself out there. I'm putting myself out here now, you know, talking to you guys, you know, and the viewers. But just use any tool you can. Like I was using Craigslist, believe it or not.
Really?
To put
For beats? What's it? Advertise yourself?
for advertise. Back when it was free. It's not free anymore.
It's not for you.
No, it's not.
But back when it was free, I was putting 4 ads of the same thing with 4 different email addresses and
That's
all this
intelligent.
stuff.
That's
And
smart.
switching the words. One title was music producer, the other one was audio engineer. If they're not clicking this one, they're gonna click that one. And then social media, hashtags. I was posting pictures every day with people, so just people were like, damn, this guy works with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, even though pictures could have been from last year, but I kept, you know, because people want to see, you know, you doing stuff. Because they'll take you more serious.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Another thing also is just researching, understanding how the field works right now. If certain artists, you know, blew up doing a dance, or you know, if people are using influencers to kind of make their way up, giving the influencer some money to kind of, hey, can you make a video you singing to my song in the car? Stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of tools out here that you can use.
I hope you guys caught that. Using influencers, just like come into my song, singing along, da da da.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
They should have you sing along, Mark. You're an influencer.
Yo, hit me up! So, do you really find people coming into your office or your studio and they have like zero social media presence?
A lot of people don't even have social media. I'm like, bro,
Wow.
like you found me because of your friend's social media. And it's like,
that should be a hint in itself, right? Come on.
Yeah, a lot of people, some people don't, a lot of people do, but they just don't take it as serious. Like, take time, you know, make your social media look good. First impression counts.
Yeah.
First impression is everything. Like, I made sure when I was in my apartment, my house was clean. My bedroom didn't smell like socks. You know, you walk in and it felt like, okay, like, this guy is about his business.
Got his life together, at least in some way.
Yeah, like it's an apartment, but as soon as you walk into my bedroom, everything changes.
Right.
You know, it's even outside the living room and everything. People, oh, nice floors, this and that. I would always get that. Shout out to moms for always keeping it clean. But yeah, first impression counts. When they come to my studio now, you know, they have to walk up security guard, elevator. You know, they walk in. There's like a pantry. And hey, you want water? You're good. There's 2 restrooms. I make them feel good. So they're really like, okay, like this guy's gonna treat me the right way.
Right.
So, and that's what people need to do. They need to, producers, engineers out there. This is not about you. This is about them. You're giving them a product. They're coming to you to be an extension of their philosophy, of their art, of their craft.
So with that, with you being in the industry for so long, especially with producing, what do you think are specifically some steps or mistakes that specifically music producers have done that they should not obviously be doing?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with the ego. Producers, artistic people in general have some kind of ego inside them. Like, hey, this is the way I do it. You know, this is the way I do art. But at the end of the day, if somebody comes to you for Photoshop, for video, for music, it's what they want. And sometimes, you know, producers, for example, in my instance, I could be like, hey, I went to NYU, I went to this and that. It's my way or the highway. But I don't. I use what I learned at NYU and that stuff, and I adapt it to, at the end of the day, give them what they want. Right. And producers nowadays just want to do their own thing. They want to take artists in their direction. No, this is the way to go. Like, if the artist agrees with you, that's cool. You know, 2 heads think better than 1, and that's cool. But if the artist isn't feeling what you're making musically or your vision, it's not going to work.
It won't work.
It's all about being on the same page.
Right.
Yeah.
It won't. And that's so true, because in my business, so I teach guys how to dress better, look better, and be more confident and poised. And I definitely noticed, like, for me, it's never about my style, because, like, you see, I'm wearing a pistachio suit. Like, this is super loud. Like, if somebody is going from a hoodie and sweatpants, they can't jump to this.
Yeah.
This is a lot. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot happening here. You know, it looks good on me because I wear the suit. The suit isn't wearing me, but I can't take somebody from 0 to here. Yeah. So a lot of stylists, they don't know how to walk that tightrope that you're just talking about. That it's not about you. If the person doesn't feel comfortable in the thing, it won't look good. Yeah. And you're saying the same thing. Like, if you're taking them in a different direction than where they want to go, even if you think that your way is better, or in fact your way might be better, but if they're not comfortable with it because they have to perform it and put it out there, it won't work, right?
Yeah. And to be honest, man, a lot of producers don't know that we can learn so much from the artist. Yeah. And that's where producers kind of start to fail. Yeah. There's sometimes I'm working with people and they're like, hey, can you try this? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's not gonna work. Like, that's scientifically not gonna work. But I try it, and I'm like, yo, this doesn't sound that bad at all. So boom, I just learned something new that I can try with somebody else now.
Yeah.
So that I learned a lot from the artists themselves.
Right. Exactly.
And
I'm gonna go ahead.
No, basically that I've learned so much from artists, just being open. Some people are not open-minded. Like, remember, these people have their own artistic things that you can learn from. It's art. Like the way somebody sees art it could be different than the way I see it.
It's not linear.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. It all comes around. But to jump on what both of you guys said, also, like how you mentioned your clothing experience, your consultantship for clothing, and then for myself, being a sales consultant, basically I focus on teaching how you sell yourself better. And it's so amazing how exactly what both of you guys said, it's the same thing how it is with me and when I teach people, that you always need to start with exactly how you see yourself, right? Exactly how you interact with the world around you. Because I mean, everything's external. What we wear is external. What we want to produce and what we listen to is external. It's really how we relate to it, what it means to us first. And then you really need to work towards the next step. So anyone who I would teach, let's say for public speaking, who's really scared of public speaking, I was terrible at it before, they want to go to being able to be in front of a room of people. You know, I've spoken in front of 200, 300 people, boom. But just like you said, you don't go from like 0 to that. You need to know the tightrope and really push them little by little to go and do that. but it always starts with their mentality behind it, and then give them steps on how to do that.
Right. And then, so for the business aspect of it, because a lot of our audience, they are young people with a vision. They want to be the next entrepreneur. They want to be the next guy in line to run a company. What made you think that I have the goods? I can run my own business. I can have a studio space. That's pretty daunting, man. Like young guy coming out of college. Like, what gave you the confidence to do that?
I just knew things were going right for me.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm like, I went to school. I took all these business classes, which I think that they did help me, you know, in learning. Okay, I know how to do some accounting. I know how to do some this, some that, some finance. Yeah. And I was just hungry. I wanted to, you know, be able to manage my own finances, and deal with my own money. And I just wanted to learn. I was just hungry and motivated, and I was really driven.
Right.
I was really driven. A lot of people don't have that drive and are kind of not open-minded to understand, okay, I'm a producer, but I need to know the business side of this too.
How do you manage that? Because I feel like, even for me, like I run multiple companies, and it's just like the business part of it is so fucking hard, bro. I'm like, you know, like reading the papers and like signing the documents and like everything is on you. Yeah. How do you reconcile that part?
Well, first I knew nobody was gonna do it for me. So I had to learn how to do it. Yeah. And second of all, I didn't want to get screwed. Yeah. I've seen so many other people get screwed. Yeah. Producers, you know, hit records. They haven't seen a penny from it.
Oh wow.
Because they weren't
knowledgeable, educated.
Yeah, they weren't educated.
It's a great word for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to be this guy. Yeah. So I saw other people's mistakes. And then I'm like, okay, whatever this guy's doing is working for him. So I would go and research how he made it up and stuff like that. It was just a lot of extra time, you know. It's not just being in the studio. When I get back home, I'm finding new ways to learn. I'm finding new ways to you know, what's a more efficient way for me to handle my finances and my income. How can I organize my stuff more? Yeah. How can I learn shortcuts in Excel so I don't have to keep adding one by one? You know, stuff like that.
Things, yeah, really adds up.
Exactly. Yeah, and it helps you.
Really adds up.
Really adds up.
Serious?
And so, like, what is your advice to young upcoming producers who have the talents, they have the goods, bro?
Yeah, there's so much talent out there, man. It's crazy.
But they want to do their own thing, but they're like, either they're scared, they feel like they can't handle the business aspect. Like, what is your recommendation to them?
Lose the fear, because if I was scared when I made the leap from bedroom to 30th Street in front of Madison Square Garden, where was my first studio, I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. But I knew it was what I wanted, and I knew it was my purpose in life. And I'm like, you know, if I do whatever I need to do, if I do my homework and I do things the right way, you know, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. It might be rough at first, but it's gonna work out. So
you had that confidence within yourself.
Within myself, and you know, I had these clients telling me, when you're surrounded by people always telling you that you're gonna be good, you're gonna be big, you're gonna be great. You know, maybe I had to make the decision to believe that.
Right.
And to be honest, I knew I was okay, but until certain people started telling me, like, man, like, you're the best one I've worked with, and until one person told me that, and this person has worked with people all over the world, and like, me, he's just probably, I guess he's happy because I'm giving him a discount, or, but no, and just I started to believe it, and but mostly just get rid of that fear, and educate yourself. Yeah. Educate yourself. Education is key. Like, you don't have
education. You mean like school, like college?
One, it could be college, but you don't have to go to college. In my field, there's tons of people who didn't go to college. Yeah. But if you don't have the resources to network with people, college to me like was the main reason how I started growing and getting clients and stuff like that. Because not because of what I learned, like on paper, but because of all the network, all the people that were doing what I was kind of trying to do, and people that were in the music industry, but not exactly on the artistic side, but on the business side. I had music business friends. I had computer science friends. I was well surrounded with different people, and I've been to different parts of the world today, all because I went to college. So, but with that said, you don't have to go to college. But educate yourself. Go home. You know, go to YouTube. There's tons of shows, audio engineers that can go to of big producers saying how they got up there.
Right.
You know, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I go watch shows. I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
Like, I go watch, when I go on YouTube and stuff, I go, what can I learn tonight? New, different.
That's very true.
And you have to do that. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes you're like, crap, I'm tired. I don't want it. But
Your parents must be proud, man, because, I mean, my mom's Dominican, my dad's Ecuadorian, so, I mean, I just hear that every day. Get your education, educación, you know, like, educate every single day. But it's very true that it's not just school, and then, of course, just like we're talking about, it's not just school, but being able to go out and exactly like you said, be able to network and learn from the people who you work with, learn from the people who are hiring you, right? Learn from the other artists, learn from books, learn from whatever's out there, free resources or paid resources. But that's what real knowledge is. So when all our parents and for all of our audience listening, when people say get educated, even like parents whatnot or old school, I'm pretty sure that they don't just mean,
a paper on the wall.
they don't just mean school, you know, college or whatever, but they mean just literally doing something and just taking something, you know, for a good reason, like knowledge, just getting knowledge. And so, very cool.
So, I mean, and I just really want to say to our audience right now, dead center, college is for the networking portion of it. It's not the paper. So I know a lot of people are killing themselves for the 4.0. Just understand this. When you go there, you're paying $40,000 per semester, not for the paper, but for the people you can surround yourself with. So just like he said, he was on the production side, but he knew artists, singers, rappers, other engineers, people on the business end of stuff, computer science people. So he was connecting with all of these people and grabbing little bits from everybody. And that's how he was able to say, the summation of this is, I can do it. I can start my own firm. Now, let's say if you didn't go, I'm not a huge proponent of college, but it has its pros and its cons. If you didn't go, you wouldn't have that all right there in the one campus. You wouldn't have all those people in the same classes as you. You'd have to go out there and find it. And you still can do that and be very, very successful, because when I came to America, I'd already finished with school, so I had to completely redo my network. Funny enough, I actually went to New York Institute of Technology for a semester just to meet people and start the networking process, because it can be a little daunting. But I would say to people, like, you can go to like different events, go to rap battles, where can they go?
Man, here, New York City is, they call it the home of hip hop. You know, even though times have changed, but it's still New York. Like, I have 6 recording studios on my floor, and we're all booked out. There's just so much people, you know, there's so much demand here in New York, believe it or not. And this is the city of hustle. Like, you gotta hustle here. Like, if you stay home on your lap, you're not gonna do anything. So there's places, man, people can just go on the internet, social media. You know, there's a lot of hashtags out there.
New York City rappers, if you're a producer. New York City producer, if you're a rapper.
Exactly, man.
Stuff like that, right?
I have hashtags. You know, they get me events, they get me clients. They, like, when I don't know what to look for, I just go on my explore page and they're throwing stuff at me.
Whoa.
So this is New York.
Here in
New York, if you're in a big city, you know, there's stuff going on all the time.
So here on the Pudding Work Show, we like to break things down to a granular level. Like, fuck you can do it, just believe in yourself. I'm brand new. I know I have a beautiful voice. Whatever, I got the moves like Jagger. What do I do? What do I do tonight? What do I do tomorrow? Give me like a 1 month game plan.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you do right now?
Right?
Straight up right now.
Right now.
It's just right now. Yeah.
Thank you.
The first thing is, you get into a good studio with a good producer, good engineer, and you get your craft sounding
Tell the people, bro.
competitive. You want to compete against the people you see on the top 100, you have to make sure the quality at least sounds like that.
Right.
The technical aspect of things. Because if your music sounds like trash, that's how you're going to be treated. I'm sorry. So get that up. Second of all, get your social media, whatever represents you. If you need to start dressing better, you know, for the image you want, start getting that up. You know, make sure when people are going to look for you, that you don't look like, you can have your personal pictures with your dog and whatever, but make sure people want to, like, this guy looks interesting. What is unique about you? You know, don't be a copy of someone else. What is unique about you? because that's what's gonna draw people. All the big rappers and people now, you know, all these personalities with the color hairs and all this stuff going on, you know, and even in the pop world, they're doing their own thing. So what is identifying you, is making you unique. So first of all, become unique. Don't try to follow a trend. Try to, you know, stay consistent with what's going on, but give it your own element to it.
Right.
That also, and just go for it. Just don't be scared. You know, hustle. Like, don't worry of how you think your voice is bad, because some people, I'm like, yo, man, you're good, and they just, I don't know, man. Like, just
how can people get rid of that? Is there a formula? Like,
there isn't. It's just, it comes from here, bro. And everybody can tell you that you're good, but if you don't feel it in here, it's hard.
I need to add to that. So there is. So there's a way that you get that more. So that's just because of confidence, straight up, right? There's several different ways on how you could get confidence. That's probably like another episode or one out, but a little piece for this specifically. If you're somebody legit in that one scenario, you're an expert producer, and you're saying that this person can sing well, and this person's saying, oh, I'm not sure, why not? What they need to do is bit by bit, keep practicing more and be able to understand. They know what they want first. They understand who they are, just like how we said. And then what they need to do is just keep putting themselves out there, expecting criticism, because that is one of the number one reasons having rejection, right? So they need to expect criticism and understand, even if they think that it's not 100% where they want to be, if they keep just throwing it out, physically, mentally, if they keep throwing it out, they know what they're doing consistently, and they know what they'll be positive, what they feel confident about, and they know what they want to change, and they keep doing that incrementally. I will put money, that's exactly what's going to change in their favor, as long as they keep doing it.
Right. That's amazing. Wow. This was such a phenomenal episode. You dropped so many great nuggets, man. Any final words that you'd like to say to the people in terms of, you know, just what can people do to like stay like faithful? Because I know a lot of artists out there, they're teaming up with the right producers, they're putting in work, they're putting out content, they're consistent, and it just hasn't happened yet. Any like thoughts for those people? Like,
study the industry. Become a student of it.
I like that.
Because you need to know what's going on. You need to know where things are headed. You need to be a visionary. Okay, like this trend that's going on now, it's not gonna last forever. So what can I do, or what can I think that's gonna be where this industry's gonna head now? What's the changing point? What can I catch on to that's gonna drive me somewhere else and still stay relevant? Just be a student of the game. Just understand what's going on. Do your research. Go in seeing which records are being successful and why, and understand why they shouldn't be successful.
Right.
You know, because sometimes you see, oh, like this, we have to do what they're doing. Well, wait a minute, no, like this shouldn't be number one right now, but it is. So understands why it is and why it shouldn't be, which is a lot of things that people kind of, you know, foreshadow. And wow.
That's great.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you for coming on the show. Where can people find you? Like, people want to work with you, bro.
Yeah, they want to
like,
hire you.
How they get in touch with you?
Social media, Instagram, Facebook, everything. It's gonna be down here. My studio, NH Records. I'm located in the city. You can contact this guy here.
I'll hook you up.
He'll hook you up, and yeah, pretty much social media.
100%. So thank you so much for watching. This has been another episode of Put in Work Show.